Art McCoy University radio show on WERE 1490. Guest hosting today, the one and only. Did you miss me? It's Miss Controversy. How's everybody this evening?
Doing excellent, doing excellent.
I'm so glad. We're in the studio today with Al Porter, who's going to sit along and help me out with the show. And also in our studio today is Mr. Sam from Melanated Media.
I'm here.
Hi, Sam.
How you doing?
Good, good. And our baby girl, we got Danielle over here with us. And you know what? We're going to hold a show down today, and we just want to tell Art we are praying for you for a speedy recovery. We know Art's not feeling well today. You know, I think it was from all that yelling. What you think?
It had to catch up with him sometime. It had to catch up sometime.
Right, right. So we're going to keep Art in our prayers today, and he'll be back with you soon. But today, Miss Controversy is going to be on the big mic. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You know what? I want to send out a greeting to Judge Capers at Judson with all the other residents and tell her that we love her and we're praying for her always and constantly. Hey, you know what? We got a real sad goodbye for those that didn't hear. Mr. Porter, I'm sure you heard about it.
Sure did. Charles Edward Anderson Chuck Berry from October the 18th, 1926 to, unfortunately, March 18, 2017. And for those who don't realize, they just say, oh, an artist. But he was known as an American guitarist, singer, songwriter, and one of the main pioneers of rock and roll music.
Right.
So, you know, maker of songs such as Maybelline, Roll Over Beethoven, rock and roll music, and Johnny B. Good. And I just want to definitely say that for those who may not realize, he used a lot of blues riffs.
Okay.
Added that country western twang in between, a lot of dancing, and when at the time he came through in the early to mid 50s, they were like demonizing rock and roll music.
Right.
He took the brunt of that.
Music,
you know, he took the brunt of it, and then later on, a lot of others took his style, such as Elvis, such as the Beatles. They did do a major cover of one of his songs, Beach Boys, and many more. Right. And so some people would look and say, well, he was a little bit disgruntled about it, but the beautiful thing was he didn't let it show. That man kept on pushing, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I just want to say, definite, when the world gives you lemons, make lemonade out of it.
That's
and
right.
he was a great performer up until the time right before his passing.
That's right. I think I saw him at something, and he was in his 80s.
You know that Mayor Frank Jackson did the State of the City address.
The Cleveland, okay.
And so when he did that, now it's time to take a look at the State of the Inner City address, because Mayor Frank Jackson said that the city is on the verge and on the brink of greatness.
Yeah, he did.
He did say that. And what we want to know is, when it comes to that, the professor will be speaking on, are we really headed towards a brink of disaster? Because right now, Glenville, do you all feel like you're on the brink of greatness? Cedar, Carnegie, Kinsman, Harvard. So you all are invited out there to this town hall style meeting. It's the State of the Inner City address, which will be happening this coming Wednesday, 7:15 p.m.
At the Art McCoy University radio show. You can give us a call at 216-578-1490. Join our conversation and maybe call in and talk about some of the things you'd like to talk about. I'm a little rusty, so we're going to talk about a few things, but I would love to hear from some callers. If you miss me, why don't you show me? Call me up, 216-578-1490. So, Mr. Porter.
Yes, indeed.
I recently went 3 times to see one of the hottest films in the United States right now.
Uh-oh, I think I know which one it might be.
Do you know what movie this is?
Are you talking about Get Out?
Yes, sir. Have you seen it?
It makes you nervous. Don't go over white girl's parents' house if you're an interracial couple.
See,
but
okay.
I'm going to say that I'm just amazed that that movie was released the way it was. It's kind of like it slid through the cracks somehow.
Okay.
There's some deep moments in that film, but what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, you know what? It is some very deep moments in this movie, and what I like about it is it opened up so much dialogue and conversation and about everything that's happened culturally in the United States to a lot of black men and to black people in general. But in just talking about the movie in general, I didn't want it just to be taken as people, once again, like, be careful, don't date white folks and stuff like that, because, you know, the filmmaker himself is actually, he has a white wife, and, you know, I mean, he grew up like that, so it wasn't just an attack or just a revealing of something that, black women already knew. You need to stay away from the white women. That's bad news. And is that what the film was saying? No. The film was saying so much more. And I think that's what got everyone's interest. And I'm so proud of the director.
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy from,
Peele.
Jordan Peele, right. Jordan Peele, I think he did such a good job in, when something is so good that it makes other people write about what they think you were trying to do. I think that speaks to it. And for those of people that are listening, wait till Monday, go to the discount show. You got to check out this film.
That is true.
Because it's really good. It's entertaining.
What did you take away from it?
I took away from it, at the beginning or at the end? At the beginning, starting out, I already was, when I saw, the relationship, I was already like, this is going to go bad. Mm-hmm. I did not know the extent of it, but it was something to me, because I read people.
I think there were a lot of signs.
It was signs. I could kind of feel it like, hey, she ain't right. You know what I mean? So, but at the end, I was very happy that once again, we didn't have to revisit a tragedy in the end. Everybody in the theater I was at got up and, yay,
Right.
And that kind of feel-good kind of thing. When the last time you've been to a movie where everyone was cheering?
Can't remember.
I can't remember. And that's bad. That's really bad. So, I encourage people that haven't seen it, if you want a good time and you want some thought-provoking film.
Is it a good date movie, you think?
Oh, yeah, as long as you ain't dating nobody white. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, now it might be some means for some dialogue after that, but I don't know.
I mean, these conversations need to be had at the same time.
Yes, and not only that, examining the underlying, why would we feel this way? Why would we feel, this way as black people? And then, go back to it's a lot of issues this movie brings up.
But as they say, truth is stranger than fiction.
Always. So. But Jordan Peele, he did such a good job in making it light, but also disturbing. The actors that he chose. Anyway, it's a great movie. Whoever didn't see the movie, please go see the movie. And
To sum it up real quick, to me it's very important because a lot of times we're so quick, as you already know. One of the main pet peeves is to talk about, we've got problems, but nobody ever thinks enough to go to see about solving those problems. And sometimes when you go to solve a problem, you also have to take a step back and say, wait a minute, let's get some others who may be well-versed in that subject. So right now, the Man-to-Man program, basically speaking, is a program where there's mentorship with youth. It started off being around the age of 14 to 21. Now it's like the ages of 12 have been included. Just young men to come through. Number one, we listen to what they have to say. We listen to their thoughts. And then number two, instead of it just being us there, we bring in people called guides.
Okay.
And those people are people who have jobs. They've started their own job. They may be anyone from pastors to plumbers to electricians to painters to people who are doing things so that if a young person comes in and says, hey, look, I don't think I can get this done or what have you, we may be able to help them so that that person can guide them into what trade they need to go through, what do they need to study, maybe get them acquainted with some books, and then follow through once they leave the program.
You know what? It's a wonderful program, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but this is a program sponsored and organized by Black on Black Crime Inc., right?
Yes.
Okay, and this is what this is all about. This is about people encouraging personal growth through conversations and activities with the young people, with the older people, through what they're using, called their guides. And that's not a unique program because villages and neighborhoods had the elders to speak to them. So the man-to-man program is probably not, some brand new thing, but it's a reinvention of what's necessary for today's youth.
And that is so true.
Okay, all right. I want to talk more about this, and let me just say, reading what your mission statement is. They actually state personal growth occurs through listening and quiet reflection and through dialogue and action. And I think that's in our society today. I don't think there's enough listening going on, and especially not too much quiet reflection. That means turn off everything and try to think about what's going on and how you want to proceed in your life. And I think having the elders now, how does someone get to be an elder in your organization to work with people?
That's easy. Somebody who has been, quote unquote, we'll say tried and true or tested. They have something going for themselves already, and they've been at their trade or their craft for even a couple of years on up, because at least it shows stability. And that's one of those things a lot of young people don't have enough of, or they don't see a stability. And Miss Controversy, I'm just glad to have you back, because in listening to what you just brought up, it is so important. Way back years ago, I was like a young person, and it would have been hard for me to sit there. So many people pointed at me and said, this is what you need to do. But at the same time, a lot of people didn't take the time to listen and see what's on our mind and see what's going on. And then when you do that, then you can sit back. Like if we show, let's say for a few minutes, a film like 7 a.m., which is about black business, or if you show Hidden Colors for a few minutes, and then before you go to a program, let people reflect on what they've seen, get that idea, see if that matches up to what some of the young people have got going on in their life, and you'll be surprised. There are a lot of them who teach us something all the time.
Right, I believe that. And you know, it's so good that you guys got this program. So how's it going? I mean, what's your membership like now?
I could say it like this. It's been going straight through for almost 2 months now. It started as a preview program at the end of December, started back in February for Black History Month, and I'm appreciative because at least it seems like the guides who come through, they have been able to work with 2 or 3 people apiece. So as it goes straight through, they can do the follow-up and make sure that everything is going all right, because sometimes you'll have somebody come to a program, but you forget that after that program, that person goes back to their real life. So it's good to have somebody to check up on them.
Okay, so what if, you know, talking about this, what if there's someone right now listening saying, you know what, I'd like my son to participate in the man-to-man program. What can they do to get in that?
Well, I'll make it real easy and let people know you can text at the number, or you can call the number of 216-804-7462. That's 216-804-7462.
See that you guys do. What your guides or your elders, they have different skills in all kind of different areas.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I like that you have a little bit of everything on here: job search strategies, workplace relations, healthy living, spiritual growth, conflict resolution, anger management, arts and crafts, education and training. But also, one of the things that you have here, do you currently recruit for guides, or do they come to you?
A lot of guides do come to us, but we also recruit.
Okay.
And it's so important that you said that, because like I said before, we didn't expect to run into the electricians, plumbers, and a few others, even clergy wanting to be involved with that program, because it's so many different levels. We've even had people affiliated with arts and music. So as we go through, if you feel like it's something that you'd like to be a part of, you can definitely contact us again at 216-804-7462. You can also email at jrporteralfred, and that is 1969@gmail.com. That is one of the ways we look at your resume, what you've already done, what you'd like to do, and then we do the follow-up, because it's so important to have that in our community.
It sure is. It absolutely is. I want to read this and the information that you gave me. The guides will come from many walks of life and will include professional, highly skilled, and other workers. Guides who have developed successful lives after early deficits are especially welcome. So let's talk about that. Because, see, basically I could read that and say, you know what, we don't want perfect people. We just want people that have learned from whatever they went through and are able to offer value to someone else.
That is so true. As a matter of fact, I could talk about one of our guides. I want to give a shout out to Brother Hayes. A lot of people would look and say, wait a second, why a man like that? This man has built his own flower business.
Oh, wow.
So that means that for, I will say, the past 45 years, he's basically paid himself, family members, friends in the community, and what have you to help run a business, which is definitely that type of success story that you would like to see go out there to people, because it might have started off rough with him back in the day, but he was able to turn things around. And so many times, a lot of us, we will say if somebody stumbles and does something early on in life, when you see somebody and they're able to turn that into, I'll say that deficit into a profit margin, even in their own life, their spirituality or what have you, and they didn't stay back there and say, I couldn't get ahead because of. No, they pull themselves up, and they're setting that type of example. You need that, because there are a lot of young men who'll come through, and they'll tell us in a minute, they'll say, well, I didn't do this in school, or I don't see how I'm going to get ahead. And then you have somebody to say, I know what you're talking about. That was me, and look at me now. Right. Let's continue to roll. Right. And that knocks down all kinds of lies or poor self-imagery. It starts building it up with a positive message.
That's so good. That's so good. So how do you get the participants?
I'm glad you asked that. We get participants through many different ways and areas, some through junior high, high school. I want to say thanks to, so far, Cleveland Public School System, as well as East Cleveland School System. The reason I have to say that is because at least they were willing to at least look that way and say, okay. And in some cases, a lot of times parents so far.
Okay.
So they have been, I'll say it, that working model. And as that comes through, then other places like certain cities can look in and say, you know something, if that's happening there, we can go ahead and send our young men or at least refer them to those programs.
Okay. I want to talk about the talking stick. What is the talking stick all about? What is the talking stick? I want to know that. Okay, the talking stick. Now, this is what this says. The talking stick is an instrument of Aboriginal democracy used by many indigenous Native American tribes. So the talking stick is passed around a group and used as a symbol of the holder's authority and their right to speak in public. How does that fit into man to man? Y'all got a big stick over there? What's going on?
Oh, and to go along with what you just said, it's absolutely the truth. Because let's face it, a lot of us, like I said earlier, we suffer from not listening enough or cutting each other off. So when you have that, the person knows, okay, it's my turn to speak. I'll go on and speak. And that's one of those things to make sure it's even footing. If it's not even footing, then it's just me talking at you. And you get enough of that in life from everybody. So it also holds me in check.
Okay, so you do literally have a big stick.
Yes, we do.
Okay, do you explain to your participants what the meaning of
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, we do.
Because a little history helps when you talk to young people. When you tell them what it's all about and what
that's true.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
True.
Hey, if you want to join our conversation today, you can call us at 216-5